how we be is the reflection of what we truly know. It's not about your belief system. It's about what you truly know. And the knowing helps to resubstantiate the quality of the being, because when you know that you're this point of this absolute and supreme intelligence, then yes, you want to be supremely intelligent, but you want to be loving, you want to be forgiving, you want to really be in a place where, yes, we make decisions as to who and who we will not associate with. Yes, that's your right, because everybody don't have your best interests at heart. We know that. But to be in a place and space where you're holding such resentment, such anger, that becomes dis-ease in your frequency, in your vibration, and in your cells. I have experienced over the years that the environment in which I have lived is always enhanced. Things blossom. Frequency and energy affects that which is the air everywhere. But we've not been taught this. So if you've got many people who are dwelling in hatred, jealousy, envy, then their environment is not going to flourish. When you have people who are dwelling in the gratitude, love, and thanksgiving, and they are releasing the trauma from their cells, the trauma of the chicken, the trauma of the pig, the trauma of the cow, the trauma of the fish, the trauma that is now locked in the cells from eating these things. When you release that and clear and cleanse and consecrate and purify and remember the truth of being. That's why I played the cosmic I am. That's why I played the I am. I am that I am. That I am that we each are is the presence of this absolute and supreme intelligence. We are individuations of the divinity, the sanctity, and the personification of deity. We are gods and goddesses unfolding, but the issue is we can't unfold properly when we are part of a system that oppresses, suppresses, depresses, contaminates, and pollutes the bloodstream. You're in tune to WRFG Atlanta. And so it matters that we realize the tools of our oppression is what we have learned to love. The way of our oppressor is what we have learned to love more than we love that which is beating our hearts and breathing us. There's no way to survive it. And you have the conversations about all of the politics, all of what this one is doing and what that one is doing and what this one did and how much they paid the government. You understand? I'm just saying, we are under the government of the entire whole. We are under cosmic order and absolute law. Man does not create law. Law is an inherent part of existence. And the law is love. The law is reciprocity. The law is giving. The law is understanding how to be. The being is the issue. And when your mind undermines you to the degree to which you feel entitled to have an attitude that is not gratitude, to have an attitude that you're entitled to something that you cannot even give. You understand? Sometimes you really have to give in order to receive. It's like you have to be able to exhale in order to inhale and intake that which is life. And you have to begin to take more of it in order to cleanse and purify and open up the fluidity of your bloodstream, your circulatory system, your respiratory system, your endocrine functioning, your neurological function. It requires oxygenation, it requires hydration, it requires the fluidity. Because the blockage and obstruction that comes from meat, dairy, eggs, chicken and fish, flesh, flour, all of that is what's causing the cancer, the heart disease, and all of that. But a person who has that has to take responsibility for releasing and letting go of the hardened anger, the crystallization of disappointment, madness, resentment, all of these negative emotions that have now become a part of your emotional body that is creating disease. Our wholeness has to be facilitated, but you have to be able to release and let go of that which doesn't serve you, doesn't uplift you, doesn't honor you. Sometimes you got to put your music on and you got to let things go and you got to dance and you got to move your body. You got to really just be in a place where you get into a flow of gratitude and thanksgiving that you can move, because there are people who are becoming hardened, and the acidity that is created in the body that begins to eat away at the connective tissue, so that now you need hip replacement surgeries and knee replacement surgeries and back fusion, because now you got bone on bone. So love is alkalizing. Forgiveness is alkalizing. Appreciation, reverence, gratitude, and thanksgiving is alkalizing. Repentance is alkalizing. Coming to this place and space where it matters to us how we walk, how we stand, because we care to be victorious and triumphant over all of the agendas that are there to have us divided, conquered. And where you are divided within yourselves, and you're divided within your marriages, and we're divided within our households, then you create blockage and obstruction for whatever it is the good you're trying to create. We want the love to flow, but you have to respect. You have to respect and honor yourself, yourselves, and to be in a place and space where you are all right. In aligning with the sacredness, the sanctity, and the divinity of all being. Humanity has been in a progression of error, to feel entitled, to deny other ones the reality of their lives, the blessing and the gift of their lives. Humankind, those who are kind of human, have been in the progression of error, to think that they have had some inherent entitlement to desecrate, defile, divide, and conquer. And this whole agenda that is depopulation and genocide, we cannot continue to participate with it and think that everything will be all right in our lives. So people will have to really get to a point in place where you look at what you do. You look at who you're serving. You look at who's cutting your checks for you. You understand? Because when you completely commit to your life, you completely commit to the laws that govern life, you completely commit to your clearing, your cleansing, your consecration, your whole life changes. But it begins to be progressive and not just a change. People can go from this to that to the other. It doesn't mean it's naturally progression just because you've changed. We want to be in a place where you realize the power that you have in reprogramming the waters of your cells, to speak truth into the waters that you drink, to be in a place where you allow your love and gratitude to penetrate and permeate every atom and every cell of your being, and know that it is what is foundational in terms of why it is that our communities are bombarded with all of this filth. so that we do not have the power of our word. We do not have the power of our imagination to see ourselves, to imagine the world cleared, cleansed, purified. See the people and becoming radiant as these points of the presence of God, taking on the responsibility of being who we are as the children of God, the children of life, the children of law, gives you infinite degrees of capacity to make changes everywhere that you are. But this is a global initiative because the genocide is a global initiative. So a boycott of the death industries as grassroots community movement in the hearts and the minds of every living one is the way that we secure our destiny. See, it may seem like it's all far-fetched now, but it should be far-fetched that you have a handful of people trying to kill everybody. Have everybody killing themselves. That should be so far-fetched, okay? You're living in a freaking twilight zone. But to have already seen that you have these ones that go throughout the world on their anthropological, archaeological digs, uncovering the handicrafts of those who are no longer present, and then storing all of this in the Vatican and the museums all over the world, as if the things that the people did and created were greater than the people themselves, who are no longer present on the planet. We're dealing with a people who have figured a way to rob the temples of the living gods and goddesses of our wealth, our riches, our platinum, our gold, our iron, our copper, all of the minerals that allow us to be in proper conscientiousness and consciousness with the eternal that is all there is as existence itself. There is no progression that we can make as long as we are not caring to be revivified, reconciled, harmonized, liberated, and resurrected. This is Adama. I'll be forward in just a bit.
The following is a public affairs bulletin board announcement brought to you by your station for progressive information and hand-picked quality music. WRFG 89.3 FM and WRFG.org. Southern workers from multiple sectors and states across the region will be coming together in Spartanburg, South Carolina on Friday, June 13th to Sunday, June 15th for the Southern Worker Action Summit. The summit is co-convened by the Southern Workers Assembly and 16 unions and worker organizations. Workers as a class are under attack on every front. It's clear that it is time to get organized and mount a strong fight back that can win. The weekend will include a variety of large group discussions, workshop-style trainings, sector and state-based exchanges, strategy sessions, and more. You can find the full agenda and additional information as well as registration forms at https://southernworker.org/summit. Additional information is also available on Signal at ATL Southern Worker Assembly.
And so I realized that what we've yet to really understand is how the frequency and the energy of love really influences other things, the animals, the plant life. On the street where our center is lines of trees, and all of the trees have very naked stalk. It flourishes to the top, right? But ours is flourishing from the bottom all the way up. It's different from all of the other trees. Why? Because the energy that is emanating from that space is affecting everything. So the apples are blossoming, the figs are growing, the roses are blooming with the rain. I'm just saying is that we have to understand the power of your spirit that has been literally refined and cultivated with love and light and clearing and purification. This is the way that we are literally issuing in the kingdom of God. There isn't anything that is guaranteed success here, because it is not success in capitalism that is success in life. It is not success in genocide that is success in life. It's not success in homicide or suicide that is success in life. It's not just even having worked 30, 40, 50 years and have a good retirement that is success in life. Success in life is literally walking in the divinity of the truth of yourself. Being able to be influential in the lives of those that you love. Taking and making it your opportunity, your responsibility to shape and cultivate the lives and the minds of other ones towards their greater good. These people have put us on a DNA lockdown so that we are looking outside of ourselves for a way to be, a way to generate money and take care of ourselves when the gift was already in us. And so at this particular point in juncture, to have so much autism, so much delayed development, so much car accidents, so much rape, so much abuse, so much all of that because of the filth of the bloodstream. What does it mean to boycott the death industries? It means that you are exalting a full life's urge, as all other intelligences do. You do nothing to undermine your cells, and you do everything you possibly can, as consistently, daily, to do and to cleanse and to release all of that that has been accumulating, saturating, contraindicating in your tissues. That is sludge. That is the residues. That is the mucus that is binding all of the chemicals, creating all of the fibroids and the cysts and the tumors that become cancerous. So we get rid of the cancerous attitude. We get rid of feeling entitled to be killing yourself, thinking that you gotta die from something. I'm saying, you don't die if you are not committed to dying. If you're not committed to living in this system, if you're not committed to living, then you are committed to dying, because the system is committed to killing you. How do we know? Because it fed us sugar as children. Sugar is the gateway drug that leads to all other addiction. We grew up in households with alcohol and cigarettes and tobacco. Your children grow up with Black and Milds and marijuana and Guinness stouts and all of this. You understand? But we're supposed to be progressive. I'm saying no, the progression comes with the cleanliness of the blood. It doesn't come just because you can do some shrooms and you can do all of this stuff that gives you an altered state of mind, but then you got all this poison in your bloodstream. You got all this ink. You don't know how that ink is influencing you. All tatted up. You can't get rid of that stuff. And so I'm just saying,